Hello, and welcome to INSY 2203 Networking Fundamentals. This is Instructor Davis. In this session, we will review router configuration. As mentioned on the first slide, we will be reviewing router configuration in this session. Specifically, we will take a look at router fundamentals, user exec mode, and privilege exec mode. Cisco IOS is the operating software used to configure all Cisco routers. Cisco IOS includes a command line interface for inputting instructions to configure the Cisco router interface. A Layer 3 network, also referred to as a routed network, uses IP addressing for routing data packets to the final destination. Delivery of the data packets over the Layer 3 network is made possible by the use of a destination MAC address, IP address, network addresses, and routing tables. In Layer 3 networks, routers and Layer 3 switches are used to interconnect the networks and local area networks. This isolates broadcast domains, enables hosts from different local area networks and networks to exchange data. Data packet delivery is achieved by handing off the data to adjacent routers until the data reaches its final destination. This typically incorporates the passing of data packets through many routers and many networks. The default gateway address is the IP address of a networking device, used to forward data that needs to exit the local area network. An example of setting a computer's default gateway is provided. The default gateway address for a computer A is 10.10.20.250. This is the IP address of router A's fast Ethernet port. The figure on your screen shows that router A's port connects directly to the switch in local area network A. The term gateway is a term used to describe the networking device that enables data to enter and exit a local area network. The gateway is where the host computers forward data packets that need to exit the LAN, or local area network. In many networks, the gateway is typically a router or switch port address. An example of a gateway is provided in the block diagram shown. The block shows that data enters and exits the LAN or local area network via the gateway. The IP address of the data packet sent from the source computer to the gateway is examined by the router and a next hop address is selected. The gateway examines the destination IP address of all data packets arriving at its interface. The router uses a routing table to determine a network data path and the next hop address. The next hop address is the IP address of the next networking device that can be used to forward the data packet to the destination. A routing table is a list of the possible networks that can be used to route the data packets. Alternate data paths are usually provided so that a new route can be selected and data delivery maintained even if a network route is down. The MAC addresses are used to define the hardware addresses of the next hop in the network. As mentioned earlier, the term next hop refers to the next networking device that is being used to relay the data packet to either an intermediate hop or possibly to the final destination. Once the next hop is defined, the MAC address of the next hop is determined and the data packet is relayed. Once the routes are fully configured, data packets can be exchanged between any local area networks in the interconnected routed network. A segment in a network defines the physical link between two inter-networking devices. For example, a router hub, router switch, and a router or router to router. For example, in an interconnected network, a segment is the name of the link between a router and another router. Another example is a segment that connects a router to a local area network via a hub or a switch. Each network segment has its own network address. The segment is sometimes called the subnet or net. These terms are associated with a network segment address such as 10.10.20.0. In this case, the network is called the 10.10.20.0 net. All hosts in the 10.10.20.0 net will have a 10.10.20 and then whatever number it is per the IP address. The network addresses are used when configuring the routers and defining what networks are connected to the router. The physical layer interface on the router provides a way to connect the router to other networking devices on the network. For example, the Ethernet ports on the router are used to connect the Ethernet ports on other routers. Fast Ethernet and Gigabit Ethernet ports are available on routers to connect to other high-speed Ethernet ports. Routers also contain serial interfaces that are used to interconnect the router and the network to other serial communications devices. For example, a connection to wide area networks requires the use of a serial interface to connect a communications carrier such as Sprint, MCI, AT&T, etc. The data speeds for the serial communication ports on routers are typically much lower than that data speeds available on Ethernet, Fast Ethernet, and Gigabit Ethernet. The range of the data speeds for serial ports on the routers are selectable, from 2500 bps to 4 megabits per second, and even higher data rates. Cisco IOS is the standard interface software available on all Cisco routers. The software is regularly updated, providing improved configuration, management, and monitoring capabilities. The Cisco IOS structure is fairly easy to navigate once you learn a few basic commands. Cisco IOS uses a command line interface for inputting commands when configuring Cisco routers. Some simple concepts, such as how to access the help menu using the show commands and configuration options, are explained. In the Cisco IOS command line interface example on your screen, when the user enters the text enable at the command prompt, the CLI enters into global configuration mode, after which the user will be prompted for a username and login to proceed with router configuration. In the Cisco IOS command line interface example shown on your screen, when the user enters the text end at the command prompt, the CLI ends in the router configuration mode and enters privilege exec mode. In this session, we reviewed router configuration, including router fundamentals, user exec mode, and privilege exec mode. As always, if you have any questions on this session, feel free to post in the QA forum or send me a message via course messaging or by my email address. Thanks for watching and have a great day.